pew, just the dope ass podcast. Pew, 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 just the dope ass podcast. Pew, pew, pew. All right. Hello. Good day, good morrow, good evening, good whenever you gaze upon
Riddance.
this. You know,
Good riddance. To
thanks in
all of you.
advance. Love, peace, and chicken greases.
Is chicken safe to eat?
Dude, fucking, I just saw something about that. It's like blueberries, lettuce, bread. Chicken might not be at this point. Only thing safe to eat is ass and pussy. So,
And depending on where you procure that, it may not be safe there either.
that's valid.
But that's always been the case. That ain't nothing new.
it's clearly at this point, it's clearly safer than fucking anything food related. Um, at all. I don't know if there's ever been, I would have to look this up. Like, has there ever been any like professional team, like just anybody have they ever come into an organization, a job, and just completely shit the bed across the board? This is almost like on a certain level, it's just almost impressive to have watched an administration walk in and fuck up like everywhere. I don't know one place where how you measure presidents, like you get like a lot of times you give presidents like when we talk about Obama, like you give Obama a lot of passes on being like drone strike daddy because of everything else that went like well we got like Medicare and he was like swaggy and he was you know good on other policies here and there, but it's like damn man, did y'all came in here just to fuck up it ain't nothing just on for y'all side, it ain't nothing good, god damn.
I mean, I don't know about administration, but as you were like, has there ever been anything to fuck up across the board? I was thinking that fucking Enron
Mm.
back in the day. Enron was getting fucked up as a company because of all the bullshit they were doing and how that imploded. But I'm sure there's been companies that have had fucked up situations from muddied water and mishandling and mismanagement. I want to say that's different than this administration, but it's not because this is a company that they are running and they are running it into the ground. So I'm not surprised. This is a company that's tanking because we have, you know, janitors working as COOs and shit. Like we just people that are just wildly off of credibility when it comes to the job. You were hired for this? Okay, and what's your background? Oh, this thing that's completely and utterly in the opposite direction? Oh, this is gonna be great. Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, the Enron of the world, the Enron of like countries is crazy. Like
Mhm.
sometimes I know I feel like I've said this before, but like sometimes it's almost like this shit is so bad that it's like, yo, this was planned. Like you're not accidentally this bad at it. Like this was a coordinated, fucked up effort. Like if nothing else has ever made you believe of like everybody got their own conspiracies, but if there was ever anything that was like, oh yeah, there's some secret cabal trying to like disrupt the world, I would be like, yeah, and like Trump is their fucking their instrument. Because what the fuck? It's
Is
cartoonish levels of fuck up.
I mean, for me, it would be like, is he in on it or not? I can definitely see there being people who are deliberately trying to fuck shit up. I mean, that's been the narrative throughout history. People have always wanted to upend civilizations, dynasties, empires, etc. Like they got this over here, I want to fuck it up so we can have this over here, or I want to integrate with them, or I want to take what they have, or whatever the case is. It's always been a business thing as far as taking power and equity and resources away from one to bring it over to me or to dismantle it altogether. So if I can't have it, can't nobody have it. Shit. Oh, destroy it. Right. So that part is nothing new. I wouldn't be surprised if there's people that have intentionally wanted to do harm to America. I mean, that's what the picture they've been painting for forever. Everybody wants to take down America, the strongest country in the world. Everybody wants to be like us, be with us, or destroy us because they hate. Like that's been the narrative that they've painted. But as you have said in your words, different times, that call comes from inside the house. That ain't that ain't other people really trying to fuck us up. That's our country doing terrible deals with each other or doing terrible deals with people that are, in their same field. And it ends up fucking all of us royally in some capacity. So it's like, ain't nobody trying to take us down. Y'all are just imploding
What was I
because you
looking
either
at?
don't know what you're doing or you don't.
I was looking at that podcast. I think it's 154 with Godfrey and I forget old boy's name.
Mhm, mhm,
But
mhm, mhm,
they had, I want to say it was the last episode they did with like Van Lathan on, and they covered a bunch of topics. But like I know one of them said as at one point about like basically just like the big wool over your eyes that like your average high school or whatever history class will do about like when I say, like you said, the call coming from inside the house, it is like if you take a half up, because I remember like one of the first times I did that, I was like in college, and like you start Googling about pick a country with whoever we're fucking getting into it with, or whoever people are complaining about. And once you start doing like, you go, all right, well, why the fuck? What the fuck is their problem? And it's like, okay, man, if I go like 3 decades back, oh shit, it was us. I go 4 decades back on them, oh shit, it was us. And not like, it don't be like, oh man, they had a disagreement at a fucking summit meeting. It's like, oh, we sent actual agents over there, destabilized the country, popped this motherfucker, implanted them, and actively set a course towards whatever the fuck we fighting at right now. And it's like, ah shit.
mhm.
God damn, boy,
Oh,
that's
somebody directly and deliberately injected mad cow disease in y'all water supply. Okay, I understand why y'all hate us. Because somebody wouldn't sign over the rights to having access to a cucumber farm or some simple shit like that. Like, oh, you won't do this little thing? Fine, we'll just destabilize you altogether and just
yeah, man, I
completely
don't know.
maim your shit.
I'm trying to now figure out, like whether who I don't know who pissed them off, whether it was the Jacksons or Freddie Gibbs, but they said, let's cut the power off on this motherfucker because y'all having too much. I don't like it. Michael movie did well. We just go never let you niggas
Right.
know. Never let you niggas forget.
Michael
We
movie
could we
did
could turn
well.
all
You
this
you
shit off.
niggas think you got hope? You think you can be Michael again? You think you can
Yep.
make it out of here? Absolutely not. Let's remind you niggas that you stuck here and you stuck here forever. We ain't gonna never let you leave, and we not gonna get you what you need. This is Hunger Games on this bitch. Or fucking
Nah,
what is the other one?
pretty
Maze
much.
Runner.
Yeah, 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 low key. Because it's like I'm like, man, nigga. I think I experienced like I don't know, it was a blackout maybe like 6 months ago, like near the house or whatever. And I'm like, nigga, that's uncomfortable if that goes over a couple hours because you just like, besides just your food, the stuff in your fridge, your fucking your alarm system's off. It's like you all of a sudden it becomes like a super safety concern. Nigga, for days. Yeah. If you thought about being a criminal, you're like into being a criminal now. If you were like I'm finna go do some dangerous shit. Cause now we get into like starving and crazy shit. And that shit's nuts. Yeah, I don't know. I haven't done enough investigation into it to have like a really in-depth opinion, but I don't know, man. Can't nobody convince me that shit is not um just actively being mishandled or not treated properly. Like you got to go to the like I haven't even seen that shit for real on the news. I had to word to news sites and people reposting shit, but it's like y'all think I should do some shit about this? Y'all think somebody should be down there like just handing out fucking generators at least if there's like a issue with the grid, which I remember they talked about. It was one of these fucking events that happened in the past 5 years that like a grid conversation got discussed. Was that when that shit happened in Texas? When it froze? Whatever it
Mm.
is. But yeah.
Oh yeah, when people had to rely on their generators and they were running out of generators at Home Depot and shit because people's shit
Yeah.
was out for so long. Yeah, that was Texas. That
Yeah,
was
man.
Texas.
I mean, I guess if you were to look at, I don't know, not a positive. Well, yeah, I guess a potential positive of this is like even motherfuckers always say like there's, you know, loopholes in the system or the shit is like, held together very feebly. In no other instance have I like been like, oh shit, we are really hanging on by a motherfucking thread than watching these motherfuckers shit the bed. I'm like, oh, it took just, you know, a startup of a bad administration, people not doing their job to just be like, oh yeah, this whole shit falling apart. This whole sector
Mhm.
of the fucking country falling to fucking shambles. That motherfucker, that shit crazy. And I'm never gonna
But
forget
you
y'all who was
said
actively voting for it and calling for this.
absolutely.
Always keep that.
I mean, I'll say to the some of the people that voted for it are people that live in the white equivalent, but they don't see it though. You know, your small white blue collar towns that are similar to a Gary or a Flint, where it's poor, white trash, redneck-esque type areas that have been appeased to by these administrations trying to get back in office. They think that they are different than those areas. They think we're going to actually get help. And in some small way they are right. I could see, whatever, bumfuck Kansas getting more support than Flint or Gary. Flint still, well, their water still fucked up. How long we been talking about that shit? Like, that's what, pre-COVID,
Yeah.
damn near.
Yep.
So it's like, come on, man. Like we know certain areas are not gonna get that help, but to their point, yeah, they would help a small town, small white collar, blue collar town get the resources they need. Now the caveat that they don't know, they'll help you out because they about to turn y'all shit into a data center. So, we want to make y'all as comfortable as possible before we suck up y'all resources by way of putting all these AI data centers and shit in your area, and or having power lines that give y'all kids terminal illnesses, and or having farms and factories that spew all types of toxic waste in the air, and you wondering why people are having children with deformities or getting cancer or lung issues or things of that nature. Like they have never been able to see how they are used as cannon fodder just as much as our communities are. They still think that they're different than us. And it's
Motherfucker see
only
it
their
now.
fault.
If you if
Barely.
yeah, because it still is a lot of times framed through like, fuck them, but how could you do this to us? It's like, nigga, this was always the plan. Like it
It
was
was always the
it
plan.
was
I told you
always,
I wasn't fucking with y'all.
yep.
He was supposed to help get us jobs. What job? I did help you get jobs. Steve's job. Nigga, that helped
No,
y'all
yeah.
get all the technology you need.
What's that, Steve, Tim Cook, and Biowa, and then what's that? The Palantir niggas. Yeah, shit is I don't know, man. Yeah, shit is sick. Yeah, watching that shit kind of for sure watching that shit kind of I think bleed over into their therapy room because I'm like, yeah, some of this shit we talking about is valid. Some of this shit also we talking about is bigger than therapy. And
Mhm.
yeah, man, shit, I feel for you. We just gonna have to sit here and kind of I didn't done so much sitting and processing because it's like that issue that you talking about is not that's not yours to hold. That's fucking
No,
yeah, that's shit. That's where we at right now, baby. Like,
that's a
fuck.
systemic issue that's not going to change. But I will say though, those types of sessions are rapport building sessions because we're both subject to the same system.
Mm-hmm.
Although I may have a master's degree, and in this space, it seems like I'm the expert, so I get paid to do this. But I'm struggling with the same systems the way that you are. My symptoms are different, but the system is the same, and that's an opportunity for them to at least and humanize you. They get to take the veil off of like, yeah, you're a therapist, but also like, yeah, you're a human being, and I get to see how you fucked up by these things too, and you can tie it back into how it affects them mentally and emotionally. But at least they have those moments where they get to see, oh, like, yeah, we're living in the same system and it affects you too.
That's for sure what that should be. Cause it's like, yeah, we gonna have to kind of that's where you kind of just, we get like you said, report building, we be in there just getting our shit off. Cause it's like, yeah,
Yeah,
I ain't gonna tell you not to be pissed and fucking Hulk smash around this motherfucker. That shit was bullshit. For sure.
absolutely. I'm
One
mad
thousand
too,
percent.
goddamn it. I get, not often, but I have had moments where, because people, when we talk about systems or we talk about structures or whatever the case is, I do have clients that'll ask me how it is as a therapist. I was like, you really want to know how this shit works? Like, they don't even they don't even fuck about mental health either. We know we getting the remainder. all them niggas take all the shit that you pay for your insurance and what your insurance covers. All that shit is gone before we get our little piece of it, and they keep doing the bait and switch on every platform, making it lower and lower and lower for the amount of money that you get from each session. So you end up having to work and see more and more clients. But that's the hustle. And we know the hustle, but also to be able to provide services to you in the community, we may take that sacrifice, or y'all lose resources because we're going to find more out of pocket paying clients, which in this economy, it ain't a lot of people that can afford out of pocket.
Mm-hmm.
So we all getting railroaded into, we're getting huddled into the same corner as y'all. We may be able to handle the corner a little bit better. We can tell that we're going to the corner. We the big buff nigga, fucking reacher or some shit. And they like shocking you with the stick. Like getting the course, like, hey nigga, I'm walking. You ain't gotta keep hitting me with the stick. These
Fucking
niggas don't know where they're going. I'm going. Just chill the fuck out and I'm gonna go over there. If I decide to mutiny, I'm gonna do it. But in this moment, I'm complying. Back the fuck up off me. But they may not know that that's how we respond sometimes. Like I know I'm gonna set this bitch off, but I'm not gonna set it off right now. I need to kind of play it cool, and we're trying to figure out how to navigate around these systems. So
yeah,
it's
pretty
it's
much.
important.
Yeah, I think that's I don't know, yeah. That level of like just overwhelm has been like it's been popping up consistently, like, in its own way. But it's like, yeah, I'm like, yeah, man, that shit falling through in just like, what's that shit? Team meetings, this, that, and the third. It's like, oh yeah. Yeah, we in the thick of it, baby.
Mhm. I don't want to meet about none of these teams. I don't want to meet on teams. I don't want to meet in a
Oh my
team. I
God,
don't want to
Joe.
meet
I don't
out.
even I shouldn't have said that. Teams is yeah, moving a little away from teams. However, that does make me think about like a conversation that I'm probably gonna deviate from a little bit because I haven't been paying attention a lot. I just see it so much. Have you seen a lot of that fucking this Lindsay Clancy case stuff?
Yes, I've seen enough of it. Oddly enough, earlier today, was it her? I feel like it was Lindsay Clancy, but like they were comparing it to Chris Benoit,
I've
and they
seen
were
a lot of
like,
that actually. I've seen a lot of that
like
fucking
how do you compare? Like y'all treated Chris Benoit fucked up, who we know he legitimately had neck head injuries and was in a field that contributed to that, and it was diagnosed like post mortem, whatever you want to call it. And you look at his body, his brain, that shit is Swiss cheese the fuck
it
out. Like you
was.
can see why he did what he did. This one, on the other hand, though, y'all just celebrating her, and we don't even know if she legitimately had no issues. And if I'm not mistaken, they were like reading in the court reports or something like. I think I saw a clip where they were talking to her therapist
Mhm.
and like seeing if her therapist could identify, like, were there any signs of X, Y, and Z? No. Like when we met, I would assess for these things, but she didn't have any signs of X, Y, and Z. Other people that had done assessments, there was no sign of X, Y, and Z. So like, why are we letting her get away with using this as an excuse or whatever?
Yeah, that was the part that like I see. I haven't followed up to watch like the actual case. I see people's commentary, which is also always not the most
Right.
reliable because it's like people who are like, oh yeah, they did the assessments, they found nothing. Then there's people who are like, okay, man, there's negligence, or it was something that I saw where they were talking about like, they were doing like I think the notes, and it was like in the notes it was stated that like this, and this, and it doesn't speak to um her having a certain kind of like mental health issue or mental health concern. And then there's a whole bunch of shit about like access to care, this, that, and the third. And I'm not one to make a judgment call about it because now it's like I'm unsure if, because initially I thought it was like, okay, she for sure did it, but we're trying to figure out, if it was, if we're going for like the mental health plea, like the insanity thing or not. And then I see mad people talk about like, no, man, like now we're trying to determine like if the husband did it. And I was like, where the fuck are y'all going with this? Like it just was so many fucking crazy theories. And the conversation I saw that like I feel I guess I'm more comfortable talking about because it's like more of a less about the context of the case because I don't really know what the fuck's going on. Um,
Mhm.
outside of just it's become, another gender wars fucking 10 out of 10, boy. This is yeah,
Yeah.
this this is like gender war Super Bowl. Um, but there was, and now they've become memes of it, of I guess, there's some person somewhere who made a comment or made a fucking whatever about the idea that I broke up with my girlfriend because of her stance on the Lindsay Clancy thing about, like it was the dad or like, free her because whatever. And it was like kids died. So that made me that actually kind of got me to thinking because that turned into more of a discourse on, I feel like I was on Instagram when I saw this, but that kind of made me think about like how valid that is or isn't to have like a staunch view of something and that being like, oh yeah, this is the thing that like ends it. Because the way the conversation was like, no, man, you're supposed to like, you know, fix it, get through it, push through it, conflict. And it made me think, I was like, I've said that a lot, that like, conflict can be a space to heal, to grow, to whatever. But I was like, what are the like staunch lines of like, you believe what? Oh yeah, that's enough. That viewpoint is enough for me to get up out of here. I don't give a shit if we just had the best weekend ever. We took a trip to whatever and was drinking fucking goddamn mimosas and all lovey on each other. And then you said your view on this thing and I'm out of here. And I've been like, I was thinking about that for like a day or two. Do you think that is more of a like, is that a valid thing? Like you can be with somebody and they got one staunch opinion and you're like, whoa, nigga, what the fuck was that?
Uh, Part of it for me, and I know this may be like for those that know me personally, it's never a yes or no. um, of course, there's going to be context to that, and I think it would depend on what the thing is and what the stance is and why. But also, I would look at how deep you are in a relationship. Because for me, if they have a stance on this thing that's so serious that makes you want to leave, bitch, how did y'all get married in the first place? You didn't vet your partner's stance enough to understand where they lie, or at least understand them enough to know when they tell you their stance on this thing, it's like, actually, I'm not surprised at that from you. I may not agree, but I would expect you to see it that way, right?
Mm-hmm.
You should be privy to them having something demonstrated to you that lets you know what their perspective is, where they stand, how they see things, how they perceive things, etc. If y'all been dating for a couple months, then yeah, you may not have enough information to fully know, and you exiting really ain't that big a deal because it's like, eh. But I'm not opposed to it. Can a Christian and a Muslim be in relationship with each other? Yeah, but can I also understand if you're like, oh, you're not willing to convert to my religion, then we can't date. I also understand that as valid as well. I'm not tripping off that.
Mm-hmm.
Could fucking Malcolm X be smacking Zionist cheeks back in the day? It just wouldn't have worked. They would not have meshed well together. So yeah, could I overlook certain things for particular reasons? Yes. Doesn't mean that I should. Can I walk away for a particular stance or mindset? Yes. Doesn't always guarantee that I should. If you want to feed the kids, you know, all types of junk food and processed food, and I'm like, nah, I'm trying to be vegan in my household. Yeah, those are things that I should be willing to walk away from. So it depends. I know this is more of like excuse me, this is more of a how do you feel about this current event? But I'm pretty sure there's motherfuckers out there married to Trump supporters, as if they didn't know that the nigga was working for the Trumpster, and that's male or female. And it may not even be a racial thing either. Like I'm pretty sure there's mad black men out there married to MAGA women. You didn't know that? Especially if they adopted the narrative in white households of like, you keep your politics out of everything, you keep your politics to yourself,
Fuck
which is a
that.
very old school white Christian way of doing things. You don't discuss politics. That is a sacred thing, and you don't tell people what you vote for. Yeah, you probably probably married somebody that doesn't have the same stance that you had, and you didn't do enough inquiring to find that out. Because for you, it's just like, well, it's not that important. No, bitch, that shit's important. It's super important. It's kind of like the what was it, like 2 weeks ago? The clip that was going around. I don't know if I sent it to you or not, but like the little biracial boy that was saying like, yeah, I'm black. And his dad was trying to tell him like, oh, that looks too urban. You need to go get a haircut because
I
your
did see
your
that.
hair looks
You did
too
send me that.
urban. Yeah. It's like that. Like you, I don't know if it was a joke or not. I don't really care if it's a joke or not because it's still a definite topic. Like, yeah, you have mixed households where it's like, yeah, I'm raising my kid to be this way. And you're kind of like, no, I don't really agree with that. You didn't vet that before you had a child with the nigga.
Yeah.
So it's common. It happens. People, I don't know why you're surprised that your partner has this stance because you've probably had enough evidence to see it. You just wanted to have selective ignorance and not pay attention to it until it's something major like this that hits home to you.
I think that's maybe like the valider stance in a I don't know, in a more complex view of it. Cause yeah,
Mm-hmm.
if you're dating, I think that's perfectly fine. Like cause I think a little more added to it was like I'm dating this person and my stance on, like my children and my children's safety is priority. And if you can, make this valid, given that he clearly assumes that she did it, then he's like, I can't fuck with that. So like from a dating perspective, I'm like, yeah, for sure. I feel like that's a quick one and doneer. Like we're figuring each other out. We're trying to see who we are in these spaces. Yeah, you got it's some good old hard lines. Just like you said, what, baby? Yeah, we can wrap this up. Think you're dope. You're a nice person. Blah 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 blah. I don't agree with that. Full stop. I'm up out of here. I think that's perfectly fine, especially in the dating space. But I lean, I guess, more towards yours. If I'm thinking we've cultivated a relationship, that goes into that shit of like, relationships being like shallow or hollow. And it's just like, oh, you just was kind of with somebody to be with somebody and have never actively explored like who the fuck are y'all in
Mm-hmm.
general and then in conjunction with one another. Cause yeah, how did you miss that? Or you knew that and you just kind of told you, like when you said like the Trump example, it's like I never thought they would be, January 6th and fucking he joined ICE. And it was like, you kind of just wanted to believe that because this viewpoint here in the beginning absolutely is a immediate expressway to this over here. So I don't really feel too bad about that. But yeah, that I didn't think that was going to cause that much discourse as it did. If it's like, yeah, if I believe a thing and I think you're staunchly opposed to it, and that's something that again, my favorite line, your politics and or whatever are staunchly attached to your values. And if you are saying some shit that just like, whoa, baby, that's anti my value system, like my, core makeup. Yeah, we gotta wrap this up, man. That ass fat than a motherfucker, though. I'ma miss it, but you got to
You
get up
got
out
to
of here.
go. I
Who
mean,
else?
people underestimate how much of a person is wrapped up in their beliefs. I don't know what it is, but people just end up being naive and thinking that what someone does isn't who they are. And it's like, no, it is.
Mm-hmm.
Everything that you surround yourself with, what you eat, what you drink, how you dress, where you choose to go, who you choose to gather around, like all these things make up your identity. And what you pay attention to media wise, how you see things politically, how you would vote, like all of that is in the same realm. It's very rare that you'll see somebody, whatever, somebody grew up in a black neighborhood, kind of like whatever, the little Asian lady that's been going viral this week for like getting the soul food quiz perfect. Um, there's some channel where they go around asking non-black people like black vernacular or black quips or
Okay,
whatever to
okay,
see if
okay.
they understand it, and she like blew it out of the water. But everybody's like, yeah, the second she opened her mouth, we knew she was gonna be black because her voice sounded black. But she's like, yeah, I've owned a beauty salon in the black neighborhood for 20 years. Like, there's not much that you can get by. But saying that to
Mhm.
say, I've been immersed in this culture, so I understand it. I'm going to know this. I'm going to know that. It would be rare for me to be said woman, and I know Martin. I grew up watching Martin. I watched and living single. I mean, living single. In Living Color, all these different shows. I know black artists and I'm part of black culture as a non-black person, but yeah, I side with white Christian nationalism. Like that does it doesn't they're not gonna go hand in hand. You would have to be the most confused motherfucker on earth. It makes sense for a black person to try and be conservative. It doesn't make sense. But I can see somebody
Uh,
black deciding to align with something more conservative and still aligning with some black culture, but it wouldn't make sense for a non-black person to be thoroughly immersed and informed and wrapped around black culture and also choose against black things. Like it just wouldn't make sense.
I
You're
think I
not
think
going to see that often.
I think Officer Tater Tot would like to you would like to argue with him and what's the uh it's a
I
couple of
wouldn't say
motherfuckers.
he's immersed in black culture though. He's immersed in, he's a black man. You have proximity to black culture, but that doesn't mean that you embrace it, which is different. I can have proximity to something and still have an understanding of it without choosing to identify with it. But it would be for him and his white wife. You know, he can sit up here and identify all he wants with his white wife and their white family and white conservative values. It would be rare for him to choose something that aligns with the black community. That's what the example that I'm giving is just on the flip.
Maybe Stephen
If
A.
we saw him saying pro black this and pro black that and da 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 da, they'd be like, hold on, wait a minute, nigga, wait, you and your white wife cool with that now? When did you come on this side? Because before you were heavily identifying with the other shit. I can't see you saying yes to this. This don't make sense. Then you would be like, hey, this is an anomaly for somebody to be in this realm, in this mindset, in this space, but say this is okay, which is in opposition to that.
That might have
Stephen
been
A. Smith maybe could count for that. I heard you mutter
okay,
his
yeah, because
name.
I was
Who would
like,
you?
that made me think of that fucking before I go off on that, but yeah, that made me think of like the Stephen A thing. The only other thing about this is just on my little dash of relationship criticism, because you know it's not a show without that, is even if I disagreed with because there is a good amount of niggas who are taking this Clancy shit as a way to be like, you know, little extra red pillars. Shout out to them Tatum to fucking take niggas in jail. um um the idea that because the in this comment I'm remembering there was a bit of it about like I said about the dude thinking future family wise like love for kids and da 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 da. And that just, you know, whether that particular person is gonna probably fucking veer off into a space that I don't fully agree with or agree with at all. I do always like throwing out the fact that like I got to start treating each other, you know, treating yourselves and then requiring that a partner treat you as more than, you know, dick and stomach, my boy. You are absolutely thinking further and more in depth about your future with, you know, Miss Ma'am. Like you are thinking about that. Like, you know, if you, you know, consider yourself a mature, functioning adult, like you think about how this person like has access and how they will raise your kids and how they will be a safe space for your kids and you. So, you know, a little bit more of that. Um, don't fucking make me regret this and like red pill it. But like you do feel like that. You do think about those things, my nigga. Um,
Yeah, absolutely. I actually was having that conversation last night. I've had it before a number of times. I think we've kind of touched on it off air and on air at different times, but it's like sometimes the narrative is painted so strongly that women think so little of men that they think that we don't have discernment and that we don't critique and assess who our partners are. Even a nigga that is just chasing around cheeks, he's still assessing and discerning what cheeks are worth pursuing and not. Like it may be a superficial reason, but he's still using discernment to say, "No, nah, I'm not. I'm cool on that, but I do want to go after this." I understand that this is a liability in all of these areas, which is why I'm gonna get in and get out. I'm not gonna stay long enough. Like he's still assessing and discerning. So, like, why wouldn't you choose a partner that fits your criteria for what you assess and discern? Y'all do it as women folk. We do it as men folk. Does your politics not fall into that alignment? It should. And for some people, it does. For Black people, it does because political things are systemic things which have always affected us, which have always been our oppressors. For white people, they have had the luxury of not wanting to bring those things up because it exposes truths that they don't want to be accountable for. They want to control the narrative to be what's comfortable for them. So if I'm a white man, I want my household to function this way. I don't need to know how my wife votes. As long as she either votes the way that I tell her to, or this house is running the way that I say it's supposed to run, she can vote however she wants. Just don't let me hear about
I think that's
it. If
one of
I'm watching
those.
my Fox News, don't you come in here and turn it to C-SPAN.
That is true. I gotta stay focused. But yeah, man, like a household watching Fox News seriously is just always fucking crazy to me. Um, but clearly they exist in droves. But I think that's one of those like that whole kind of arching scenario that you were talking about. I think that's one of those shits where it's like, I don't know, all the isms, classism, racism, patriarch, all that shit is systems that niggas fucking like that everybody participates in. Because like we was talking about at the beginning about like even old buddy that's doing the discernment, but just some ass. There's a video that's been going viral here and there, and this I don't know who this woman is, but it's funny. She's like, you put your face in my ass, but you can't talk to me about your feelings. And I was like, the easy thing is like, of course, there's clearly a vast amount of niggas who cannot process and communicate and discuss. They haven't worked on those skills to get in touch with their emotions. However, it's just too simple and easy to just say that as opposed to no, man, I'm pretty okay with that. I've assessed you. You know what I'm saying? I don't have any ill will towards you. I would love to do those things. However, I have noticed that is not your skill set. No disrespect, not saying you can't move forward and grow in these areas, but as it stands today, I have assessed what we good and what we not good at. Okay, you and me have fun together. We good at that. We good at the fucking. I've heard you talk. You're not that emotionally safe. Not just for me, man. I heard you talk to your mom, heard you talk to your sister. I seen you and your homegirls communicate. I saw what you did to the cashier the other day. That was fucking insane. We just went and got food and you were fucking nutty to the goddamn waitress for no fucking reason. Just kind of shitty all around. But here in these pockets, which is why I come around in pockets, that's where you good at. You situational. You come off the bench, and you're great coming off the bench. Don't get in here trying to act like you want to start. You have no shot. You don't have good handles, but you know what you do well. You get in here, you get in the way, you get a body on somebody. Let me get you up under the basket a little bit and get you up out of here. That's what we're good at now. I think we can develop. I think you have all the potential in the world. However, this is where we're at right now. I would love to, but I realize we don't have that. So this is where we'll stay for the foreseeable future until we grow and develop. And I just think we gotta sometimes, call a spade a spade. You might be an emotional savant for that nigga. And
Right.
we are, and you be with that nigga. But I'm just saying, you've got some assessment skills, my boy. We can progress this conversation and nuance around these things. Cause y'all be saying some shit like, y'all was saying this shit to my daddy and him. It doesn't apply, not like that. Not as
No.
much.
You definitely can't come in with walk on talent thinking that you're gonna be the face of the franchise. Like, no, I see your value here, and that's where we're gonna put you. But that is to the ego of the person. And we've talked on here before about the ego of women that doesn't really go addressed as much as the ego of men. A lot of them can have walk on talent thinking that they should be the franchise. They should get the franchise stamp. And it's like, not here, not at this institution. Can you go somewhere else and be the face of the franchise? Yeah, sure. Go find where that's at. Because here, you don't fit that criteria. You're not about to come in here with fucking Andrew Bynum talent and think you about to be the face of the league. No, we supposed to put you on the cover of the game. You ain't produced. You good in this area, and we gonna let you be good in this area. If we were gonna let you, whatever, and maybe dated references, but like you ain't see them trying to make Robert Ory the logo because he got rings. Like you got rings, yes, but you got rings because you were a good player that stayed within your pocket in the right systems and you played your position. If that nigga was like, I need to be the logo. Look at I got the most rent. No, hold on, wait a minute. Let's have a conversation here. Let's not get disillusioned with certain accolades that you received and you thinking that you are at a particular level because you're not at this level. But that was also part of the conversation that I had last night, as far as like people may not pay attention to what makes them feel uncomfortable. Like there's no way. I know that there's been people that look at me or my interaction with them and they think that like I be bullshitting or wasting time because I don't be applying pressure like that. It's like, man, do you see what I post? And do you see what you post? I see what you post. You don't see what I post. You don't think that I clock that one, that you don't pay attention to what I'm interested in the way that I pay attention to what you're interested in. I assess you, you don't assess me. That already should let you know that we have nothing to discuss. I'm never going to move further because you don't even show a certain level of interest. But
While
if we
niggas
do
is
look at the things that we produce, you like liquor and bullshit. I don't drink, ma'am. Like you keep posting you cheersing with your homegirls getting shots 2, 3 times out the week on the weekend, and you've never seen me post no liquor on my page. You don't think that I would see that and be like, yeah, you can't be in this position. You cool. Like you said, the ass is nice, the smile is cool, and you cool within this realm, but I would never let you into this position because you don't match my criteria for what I need over there. And that's okay. Just go find the places that you do.
and niggas is in alignment. Cause I very recently had a conversation in that same ballpark, and it was like just going over the course of just like relationship history and then like even say like college me or whatever. And it was like, and when I think about it, it's like I wasn't like opposed to being a slut, but like I was cool with like not being one. I just when we was doing the what I thought was tryouts, you were bad at it. Like I wasn't just like, oh man. Like I definitely, I had my good era, did my best Slim impersonation, man. I couldn't even button my shirt to the top, but I get nervous. It was, I was out there, and it was like, oh man, y'all got girlfriends. It's a bad bitch in the Bronx that need me that I haven't met yet. Like it's somebody in Houston. They need me. You don't understand. I've never been to Seattle. It's a biracial out there. I'm 21. She need me, brother. However, um, after a certain point, it's like, that wasn't the main motivation. It just was like, oh, you want to come and like hang out. And it's like, yeah, I want to get to know you. I'm in the middle of trying to climb Olympus. Kratos is in the middle of getting his vengeance. This is super serious, man. Like, I'm replaying through this. We got Pandora. We're about to go fucking like figure this shit out. This is a very emotional moment. You snoring. Okay, cool. Like, I think you're hot. I appreciate you being here. Like, we're gonna do some stuff, but like, yeah, this is I have a whole dissertation. We could talk about this. Well, we just watched, whatever Marvel movie or what was that? What was that? The Watchmen. I could talk for hours about what it probably feels like to be Dr. Manhattan and the philosophical difference between fucking Rorschach and goddamn what was the villain? Whatever the fuck. Like I could do this, man. And man, we could do this. You didn't want none of that. You came in here and talked at me for like 2 hours about some shit we talked about last week because your homegirl's a fucking doof. You want to talk about this shit again? I gave you my genuine opinion. And you came back and told me like there's nothing changed. You wasn't listening to me. So yeah,
Or
I set
you
up.
faked it. You faked it trying to act like you did care and thought I wouldn't clock it. There's a lot of that too.
I did a bunch of yeahs and uh-huhs because I was counting them. I was counting how many times I could yeah uh-huh until you like said, you're not listening. And like cool. What's my what's the easy way? Like, what's my middle name and favorite color? Like, chill out. Like, we have good sex, and that's fine. That's all. I just chill out. And
I
I
don't
want
know
that for
your
you,
middle
my nigga.
name and
I know
favorite
it's
color because I don't like small talk.
listen, I know it's scary, my boy. I know it is as uncomfortable as hell, but like you can require more. You can require that she need know you. Because when you go out and hang with your niggas, you do have like some bullshit nights where it's nothing, but you also have those nights where y'all just really be shooting the shit. And you would like that at home. So you can cultivate that. She fed you, she fucked you, and that's great. but there's 24 hours in a day, and those two events, what did that run you? I'll be nice. They're running you 2 hours. You got 22 more hours with this motherfucker. It's a Saturday and y'all ain't got nothing to do. You want more, you want some more than that. That's all I'm saying. Like you deserve somebody to give a fuck about your interests, give a fuck about goddamn.
I'm about to say, yeah, you deserve to give a fuck about you. And the reason why you would choose that is because you don't really give a fuck about you. Yeah,
All of
she
that.
she fed your stomach, but she's starving your soul. And you gonna take a goddamn sandwich over satiation as far as being happy within yourself. She fed a nigga like, okay, that's all right. Where first off, where goddamn what's his name? Cabinet Curl, because the shit that she made y'all, it may need to be panned. You may think she actually made your ass something different, decent, and you fuck around and find out that this bottom barrel shit that she didn't cook, this she can't cook. I just don't eat. Since I don't get to eat, this looks spectacular to me, but she really don't know what she's doing. I'm getting fooled because I'm uninformed. I don't love myself enough to know better. Which we've all been there. We've all had a moment or two.
Yeah.
But if you love yourself, you pull yourself up out of that.
Yeah, man. I just think, yeah, I just encourage niggas. I'm always encourage niggas to engage in things that foster genuine connection so you can have the actual love and the fucking community can function. Cause I'll get on this rant forever. I just want you niggas here. And I'm niggas too. Like everybody, we are all niggas at a certain point. And fluctuating here and there about like, oh, this is really not the thing. And you can, do your part, whatever that looks like. Go to therapy, do some fucking communication with your partner about like what the thing looks like, as opposed to, you could sprinkle a little bit of, I ain't gonna say arrogance, but some healthy ego, because this is an adult pod. All of y'all are in your 30s and beyond. You can get some pussy, my boy. I be like you've been fucking since high school. Like if it's just pussy and some food, you can acquire that. So you owe it to yourself to be like, I would like more. I would like more things to be on my checklist of partnership and connection, and or I guess, or don't. I know what I'm
Yeah,
doing, but I'm just saying, like, I would like that for the group. I just said
yeah.
this before.
It expands your capacity.
Yeah, I just said this before, man. I'm tired of it being no niggas having fucking Star Wars themed fucking Fast and Furious weddings. It's only it ain't never us. Like, you like that shit. You do that. Or whatever your fucking thing is, nigga. Come down in boxing gloves and do fuck. Y'all both like boxing, and
Right.
and you be Frazier and she be Muhammad Ali, and y'all just reenacted in the middle of the fucking thing in wedding colors. Do what the fuck you want. I just want to believe y'all. I don't be believing all y'all. Just be the same rinse and repeat shit, so motherfuckers don't die alone. That just don't sound fun to me, or whatever.
It's performative. But part of my bias would say that's in alignment of posturing yourself close to and accepting white isms. Like the more that you are focused on trying to be accepted by whiteness in this country, the more you lose parts of yourself. They can always do the fun, cool shit because they don't care about being accepted by a system. We are constantly moving in a space of scarcity or survival to where we're trying to either survive the system or be accepted by it, to where we end up losing ourselves. Like, ain't no reason why niggas can have all white parties all the goddamn time, but you can't have no black exploitation wedding where everybody's coming in,
Across 110th Street.
right? Like everybody in here, pick your favorite black exploitation character, come dressed up as them for the reception or something. Like, why can't you do that? It's rooted in culture. We may have moments where it's like, oh, this is a '90s themed or a Martin themed or shit like that, but like we get outdone in those areas as far as integrating our transitional periods in our lives with something that actually is enjoyable to us as opposed to doing the performative narrative thing that everybody else does. Everybody got to have a gender reveal. Everybody got to have a motherfucking what's them shit called, a baby shower where you're gonna be wearing matching outfits and shit. Like everybody has to do. We can joke about the stereotype because everybody keeps falling into it, but you don't have to. You don't like that, my nigga. Why can't you have a Naruto themed baby shower? Because you fucking like Naruto, and even if it's not her thing, she's still supportive of it. because she's happy that y'all are doing this thing together and wants to integrate two things into it. Like,
Back and forth at how selfish or unselfish that is, because you see a lot of stuff for niggas is like, I know I've said this rant before where like I don't know a nigga, me included, that hasn't really given it a shot. I didn't watch Bad Girls Club. I didn't watch whatever the fuck. I don't watch Love and Hip Hop. I've watched all them shits. I've watched a good chunk. And I'm like, okay, well, this sucks. And it was like, if you doing like, I know mad niggas that have done that. And it was like, hey man, she ain't never watched, Ichigo hit Bankai. Like not one time. Nothing, like never. She ain't never sat up and watched Ed and Al trying to get their bodies back. Never. It ain't, it's 15,000 of these. And you love them. She ain't never, like, none of them. It ain't no time she ever talked to you about Tony Stark. Never. Fuck. Never.
at least
This shit
lie to me,
sucks.
Jared. Lie to me. At least be in there and act like she may not watch it, but she passed me the remote and said, "Hey, I know you want to watch anime. Go ahead and put your anime on. You can go ahead and watch that." Even if she's just gonna sit there and look at her phone, at least she's trying to be somewhat balanced and shows, "I know you like this thing. It ain't my thing, but go ahead and watch it.
Yeah,
You
I think,
sat and watched my shit with me. I'll sit here while you watch your shit." At least that.
yeah, because I think about that in regards to like, if I'm in my headspace of what connection and that's whatever and about, I'm like, yeah, you get the, my favorite ranch, you get the buddy and the booty. Well, so what the fuck are we doing here? If we not, because I do this shit on a daily, like this is my, like, so what the fuck are we doing? I like to fuck.
Perform.
That's, don't get me wrong, like fucking is cool, but like, then what else the fuck we doing here? Sucks. Grab these fucking
It's
sticks
not
so we
fun.
can go blow some shit up.
Yeah, let's like have fun, man. I think sometimes what'll be interesting is the contradiction again, expanding your capacity. The more that your capacity is expanded as a person, the more cultured and I don't want to say worldly per se, but the more you are invested in different experiences in the world, the easier it is for you to get along with or be a suitor. Most women will say, I want somebody that could teach me something. I want somebody that's into new things. And then anime could be that new thing. And you're like, ugh, you watch cartoons? And it's like, but didn't you say you want somebody to expose you to something different? That's not that's not the thing that you were talking about. Oh, the thing that you were talking about as far as exposing you to something different is somebody paying for you to go on a trip that you've never been to that you don't have to pay for. That's not in the same realm. So there are a lot of contradictory expectations that people have.
And then you go on a trip and y'all not even having no fun. I can go to the beach anywhere. I'm not, I get it. It's cool. It's whatever. But we're not even going to no fun shit. But I take
We're
that
going
back
to a
because
beach for you to shake your ass, get some sun, take some pictures, and drink. We can do that anywhere. You did that at the brunch spot in our neighborhood 2 weeks ago. Like what? Same exact thing, just a different outfit. And it might even be some of the same outfits in your luggage. Like we traveled this far for you to do the same thing over again. No, they don't have no goddamn crab boils in Peru, ma'am. Come over here and try these local dishes and eat some of this mutton and them beans and like figure this shit out. Like, try something different. But again, you can't say that you want something different and then scrutinize the different thing. That means you're not open to it, which is going to make him not want to be open to you. I'm gonna find somebody that's more receptive of my differentness. But it also made me think of I saw earlier today a dude was saying like um, the conversation as far as men and women being able to just be platonic friends,
mm-hmm.
and there's always men talking about that they are surprised that men can have platonic female friends. And it's like, yeah, y'all feel that way because y'all don't get no bitches. For those of us that quote unquote get bitches, I can have women as friends and just chill with them and embrace them as people, as human beings that I think are cool and we can have similarities because I don't have to try and get some ass from. I have my needs met in other areas, so I can just see this person as a human being. Y'all are so deprived in certain areas that you are feverishly trying to force something in this area because you are deprived of it. Maybe if you expanded your capacity some more, expanded your experiences some more, you wouldn't be as thirsty to see this person as a necessary object or an opportunity when really they're just a person that you can just kick it with.
And nigga said Cam Newton don't get no bitches.
Either that or he on the other side of the spectrum where he's had too many to where now his brain is.
No, I would
But
know.
also
I'm
he's a preacher's kid
yeah,
who
I'm
got
making that
fame.
joke. He clearly, I know his was like that other side of niggas were like, it's that, it's the same old like, traditional slash patriarchal ish mindset, but also just an excuse of like, men will be men, which
What does
I
that
don't
mean?
hate. It just don't got to be manipulative. You can't be like, I'm trying to get all the pussy in the world, and then try to like dangle the parameters of that. There's a give and take of whatever way motherfuckers want to live and maneuver through life. So it's like, you know, you're gonna have to figure that out, my nigga, because you kind of doing the manipulative thing when you could just be, like he probably should join the lifestyle with you, low key, if he was, got a little more
Nah,
flexibility and honesty about it.
I'm about to say, yeah, you ain't got the ethics to be over here. Stay your ass where you at.
That's fair.
You good over there. We got enough people that be making it look bad because they don't do their homework. You would look at a barber crazy if they didn't have a license. Like, oh, I'm your first cut in here. Like this your first cut at this place. Like, no, you're my first cut ever. What? Well, what barber school did you go to? What you mean barber school? Oh no, no, no. Like you gonna look at somebody weird, but it's a lot of people that jump into poly non-monogamy and all these alternative lifestyles. You ain't read a book on it. You ain't learned nothing. You ain't had no conversations with people that have veteran tenure being a part of these lifestyles. You just said that sound good because ego said it sound good. So this how it's supposed to be anyway. A man is supposed to, which man? Because all men are not the same. Can we all
That's true.
have similarities? Yes, but we are not. If all men and all women were the same, you and I wouldn't have a fucking job. I can just talk to any man and say, "Hey, this, you doing this? Yeah, I'm doing this. You fine? Okay, go ahead about your like." We wouldn't have a job if everybody fit into the same template. People are individuals and people vary. So you don't realize how you are manipulating your goddamn self when you say, as a man is supposed to, says who? It's not applicable everywhere.
Yeah, I would like niggas to eventually figure out. Yeah, I think we're on the way. I'm just being a little cynical, but how much low key, I take that back. This is just the everybody thing. Like how much the shit that you are very staunch, like just paying attention to the box that puts you in, because half the shit y'all be complaining about is also like in direct correlation to these hoes don't be fucking caring about a nigga. That's like, well, you are very staunch on these specific ways in which relationship and manhood work, and they don't allow for you to be a full-fledged human being that expresses, he don't talk to me. Well, you are aligned with this, and this. So no, you're not a, I don't know, you're not a safe space. You do enjoy the nigga being the fucking bring home the bacon provider, knowing that majority of motherfuckers out here is making $48,000 a year. So no, he can't be really emotional because that nigga is trying his best not to fucking chew a 18 wheeler in the middle of the day because he's goddamn anxious and depressed. So I don't know, man. Pick one. If you wanted to, I would love to just be provided for and shut up. Cool. This is gonna work out great. If you want communication and connection, that requires you being supportive in a way that makes you take up space in other areas that are not quote unquote traditional. I
It's
don't
a
know.
lot of motherfuckers that want to get paid, but they don't want to work.
What's that shit? Word to Andre 3000, which y'all are not ever putting enough respect when y'all are naming your favorite artists or lyricists. But everybody want to go to heaven, but nobody wants to die. Cool. Big, you cool. Good luck. Die about it,
Don't
bitch.
know what to, right. I don't know what to tell you. 'Cause we going to heaven over here. We gonna do the work to get there.
Oh yeah, no. But not only am I going, I'm gonna be out in that motherfucker like fucking Warhammer, Grimdark. Put me right. Where the battle at? Get me up out of here. Yeah, I'm ready.
Well, let's
Please,
go and
please,
get to it.
please, please take the fucking analogy and joke. Ain't nobody up here, you know, self harming. That made me think because y'all niggas be
Oh,
trying to flip the script. This is why you need to know more things. Because when I said grimdark, you would have got it, but you don't fucking pay attention to geek shit. Sorry.
well, they also have the same reading levels and educational skills as their children, and we see how that conversation's been going the last month. So,
God, what is that? What is that motherfucker's name? That's one of my favorite pages. And after that, I don't even got no more motherfucking topic. But Dr. Shit. Russell Ledet? Russell Ledet? Russell Ledet, right? Whoa, don't talk, Doc. Yeah, Russell J. Ledet. Yeah. This nigga be cooking. If I don't need a lot. I haven't pursued a doctorate. Everybody shut up. I didn't say I was going to. But I enjoy creators like this or people in the field because Buddy got all the PhDs and this, that, but in how he discusses parenting through through a clinical lens and shit. And I'm like, yeah, this is dope because protect the babies and shit. But y'all be saying that shit and then be raising them kids. Like, it was cool for Big Mama to do it because Big Mama was a sneeze away from slavery. Everything she did, she was just making it up on the way, and we loved it. You're a fucking you have access to Wi-Fi. It ain't no fucking reason for you to be moving like that, Goofy. You fighting data centers, but bitch, it's data in there. Use it. What the fuck are you? Shit. Damn. Fuck. Thanks for listening. That's about all I got. You'll get this whenever I fucking post it. Piss me off, man. But thanks for listening. Thanks for listening. Love you or whatever the fuck. Yeah.
all
All
that
right.
bullshit y'all be doing on
All right.
TikTok, which I think
Stay
is
black,
work.
y'all, or whatever you are. Stay that ethically.
But be better at it.
Yeah. Be better at it. And yeah, be better at it. Okay, bye.